grasping this. That is very good. I actually am drinking 8 o'clock. Is it 8 o'clock? Yeah, not 8 o'clock, but 8 o'clock coffee. I need a cloth right now to actually spill right there on the microphone. Let's just wipe it up there. You got it? Big spill. No, I'm just kidding. See, if you're trained to work at the board, you know you don't put the cup over the board near equipment or anything like that. There's a special location for it, and I've been trained by housekeeping not to do that because you certainly don't want liquid going down into the console. Not a good thing. I think that would definitely void the warranty. Don't you think so? Donald Trump is saying that he believes that Alabamans should determine for themselves whether allegations of sexual impropriety against Senate candidate Roy Moore are true and whether to elect him. This is his press secretary said Thursday. The president believes that these allegations are very troublesome and should be taken seriously, and he thinks that people of Alabama should make the decision about who their next senator should be. Sarah Huckabee Sanders told reporters at the White House. Moore is 70. He's been accused by an Alabama woman of sexual assault when she was 16 years old. 6 other women have told the Washington Post on the record. Moore sought romantic relationships with them when they were teenagers, and he was an adult. And one said he insisted for sex, demanded it. 7th woman told AL.com, the website for several Alabama newspapers, Wednesday that Moore groped her buttocks in 1991 when she was 28 when visiting his law office on legal business. This is a mess for Moore, and what could be a bigger mess is that if he actually becomes a senator, will he actually be an effective one? Will this actually follow him into Washington? A lot of those on the right think that this is just a very damning situation for anybody involved, just given the climate now in our country where people are listening to these allegations. People are taking these allegations seriously, and they think it's an open door now where people can come out and finally air their past. And it's kind of refreshing for a lot of these women. Some of them have said to be able to finally tell somebody because they have suppressed it for this many years. But Moore is hell-bent. He said he's not going to go anywhere. He's going to stand his ground, as a matter of fact. Actually, here is Roy Moore saying... That's Mitch McConnell. Doesn't like Mitch McConnell. Mitch said to step down. Mitch.
There's been comments about me taking a stand. Yes, I have taken a stand in the past. I'll take a stand in the future, and I'll quit standing when they lay me in that box and put me in the ground.
It just kind of weirds me out just how defiant he is. There's just something very shady, dodgy about Roy Moore. I don't personally know the guy, but I'm a pretty good judge of character, and I can tell you what he's been saying and how he's saying it on Sean Hannity's broadcast, and very, very defensive. Not a kind of guy that says, I cannot believe, with a contrite heart, these accusations. I feel really troubled about these women that are coming out saying these things. I don't know one of them. This is the craziest thing that's ever happened. I mean, it doesn't sound like it's a man who didn't do it. There's some guys that are on the defense for him and saying, this has happened for so many years. You should just let lying dogs lie. You're just trying now to attack the good guy that's been doing good things for the past 30 years. And woman, if you didn't say anything back then what the hell reason, only because the Washington Times, the Post, everybody's knocking on your door. Now you're saying something because you're trying to hurt this guy. Some people are saying it. I gotta be the elephant in the room, not the poached elephant. But I have to say something, folks, about this, because this is the mindset of a lot of people out there. You could be one of them. You know, you may have somebody next to you that's feeling this way because you might be a Moore supporter. I have a lot of listeners in Alabama. We have an affiliate in Alabama. And I know a lot of people like Judge Roy Moore. Said he's done a lot of good stuff for the state of Alabama, and this is just a witch hunt. All these women are nuts. It's a setup. The papers did this. They were going to pay them to say what they said. The yearbook, that's going to show that there was nothing, and this is just a bunch of balderdash. This is crazy. I would like to believe that. I honestly, to goodness, would like to believe that Roy Moore did not have any of these experiences that the women have said that he had with them. I would like to believe that he didn't get kicked out of the mall. He didn't grope that 28-year-old's buttocks that just came out number 7. He didn't do anything that any of those women said he did. But these are accusations. I mean, these are strong accusations, salacious accusations. And public opinion, like it or not, can be obviously swayed. What's damning about this is minor, young. You're 30, you're 40 years old, and you're doing these things. Creepy. Creepy. Very, very creepy. So I don't know exactly how this will ultimately work out for Roy Moore, but I don't think that his posturing, the optics right now and how he's defending himself, how his lawyer went on trying to defend him without any new evidence or anything new findings. Because typically you hold and I've said this before, a news conference when you actually have news. There was nothing new. Other than trying to defend Roy Moore, and it was a lame excuse saying, I know this man, and this man hasn't done any of this stuff around me. Well, no kidding. Hey, let's round up some teenagers. Let's all hop in the vehicle, and let's go out. Yeah, that's what he's going to do to his lawyer friend. That's going to go over really well at 70-something years old. He's 70, right? He's not going to be doing that. There's more women that are going to come out for this. Is number 7. There's more women. I told you there's going to be many, many, many more. They're going to come out. You got Al Franken. He's got his issues with groping. Martinez. I mean, it's just this is not good. Yeah, when we're in it, Al Franken.
I mean, nothing like that is ever funny. I mean, is it funny if he does that to your sister or your daughter or your wife?
You know, and that was, an accuser for Al Franken. But what she said, that to me, that sticks. I mean, it's not funny if it happens to your wife. It's not funny if it happens to your daughter. So you got to personalize this stuff. That's why I say I equate this. I have 3 daughters. There was a time. The truth of the matter is there was a time. And in recent memory in this country where these things in your company or companies that you knew, this stuff happened. But it did not go outside the doors. And if it did, the person would be fired quickly, removed. Their ID badge and their keys, everything would be confiscated and they would be let back in. But a lot of companies like Fox News paid these people off to not say anything. A lot of people have been paid off to let them go. They were compensated. And a lawyer had drawn up paperwork for them to sign, and that was it. Not all women signed these particular things, and obviously the ones that are accusing now Al Franken and Roy Moore. It's just too many people coming out of the woodwork. You can't just blame the entire paper. Now, they may have started, with digging. But if you're digging and you find something and it looks kind of damning on your opponent, aren't you going to kind of dig some more? Oh, wait a second. There we go. And there's another. Well, there's another. And there's another. And before long, it's out of control here. Trump's so far pretty silent on Al Franken, a Minnesota Democrat, facing his own accusation of sexual misconduct. Broadcast from Leanne Tweeden said yesterday that Franken forced himself on her and groped her while she slept during a 2006 United Service Organization tour of the Midwest. Franken issued a statement apologizing to Tweeden and calling for an investigation of himself by the Senate Ethics Committee. What's so damning about Al Franken is he's been this perceived women's advocate. Seriously. And now it's creeping out so many that he has helped that have come out and said, I can't believe this guy helped me. And it's very hypocritical. But yet here it goes again, and it's on both sides now. Like I said, this is Pandora's box. This is just the beginning. It really is. Like I've said, I hope some good things can come out of it where people don't do this particular stuff anymore. Their behavior ceases. But there's always going to be people that are going to try to press the limits, and they just can't control themselves in the workplace. And they have to let their hands go roaming, and they're disrespectful, and they don't take no for an answer. But I think a lot more people are going to be thinking twice about these things. But I'll tell you what, you got to know that there is so many more out there where chief executive officers of companies that they're going to blow the whistle. I mean, there's just things in the pipeline. They're going to be bursted out, and you're going to be shocked. Ministries, Fortune 500 companies, small companies, medium companies, university, you name it, it's going to come out because finally women are going to say it's our time. I've sat on this information too long. I know he's doing this to other women, and that's what women are thinking right now. How many more will he do this to? If we don't stop him down, here's an opportunity. That's why, in my opinion, they're doing it. And it's healing. It's therapeutic. They can get it off their chest. I could not imagine them getting off on it, coming out publicly and having their name aired, being on television shows and saying this is a wonderful thing for their friends and family. Hey, I was groped. I was sexually molested. Hey, I was raped. I was this and that in front of their family. I don't think that the women are doing this just because. I think there's a deeper reason for it. Now, maybe some of it's politically motivated in their minds because they hate conservatives. I just can't imagine every single one of them. I mean, I don't think they did a poll to say, are you conservative? Are you Republican or Democrat? Not taking a poll. Yes, the papers, yeah, if they can bring a good man down, they'll probably do it. But just because he did some good things doesn't mean he didn't do any bad things. That's my takeaway. SpaceX, been doing a lot of good work, doing a lot of undercover stuff too. Yesterday, they postponed a space launch, if you didn't know, of a secretive U.S. government payload, and it has a name. It's called Zuma. It's a mission whose nature and the agency behind it is quite a mystery. We have decided to stand down and take a closer look at data from recent fairing testing for another customer, SpaceX said in a statement issued late yesterday, about 2 hours, as a matter of fact, before the planned launch window was to open. Agent France Priest reported the fairing is the nose cone part of the rocket that protects the payload. Though we have preserved the range opportunity for tomorrow, we'll take the time we need to complete the data review. We'll then confirm a new launch date. So no launch for yesterday, but the Pentagon did not respond to requests for comment about the nature of the mission. Of course, yeah, they're not going to release it. It's top secret. Northrop Grumman, the maker of the payload, said it was for the U.S. government and would be delivered to low Earth orbit, but offered no other details. It's a spy satellite. Come on.